What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 15, Give Black to the Community. So we are still at the Black event. We are at the scene where Stormy, I felt like she got Marceau all the way together when she was basically like, get the hell out of my face with this $100 request. Because while she's trying to set up her booth, as she's trying to deal with her own issues with her own business, here comes Marceau talking about, you got that $100 for the booth space. And I thought it was unprofessional of Marceau to do it like that. And I thought that, Stormy's response, I had no issues with her response. But, when I go look on Twitter, it seems like people don't really care for Stormy. I don't know why. I love Stormy. And I saw nothing wrong with her response because, us as the viewer, we know the background. She's stressed out with the booth, with her own business issues. She's really stressed out. So maybe to Marceau, it kind of came off like kind of crazy, like, where's all this energy coming from? But she was really this was not the time. Okay, this just was not the time for Marceau to come up there panhandling for $100 for booth space when that should have been taken care of way before. Actually, what they should have done, like I said, you send out your invoices, you pay your booth space before the event to guarantee your spot. Why didn't y'all because y'all don't know how to handle business. Marceau is probably great with construction and being a general contractor, but your girl Tisha, she doesn't know what the hell is going on. She doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And even though she talks about how it's okay to ask questions in business, well, when you get the advice, like, Melody told you what you should and shouldn't do, you didn't want to hear it. You didn't want to listen to it, except the part about the sponsors. That's the part that you paid attention to because there's money in your pocket. So Marceau was extremely condescending to her when he was talking to her. And, Stormy was like, well, you know what? She said something about you don't want to see Courtney. You don't want to see Courtney. Kind of like you don't want me to get my husband involved in this situation. So you need to get the hell away from me. And I think Marceau was probably kind of turned on by Stormy's, hot-headed response. I think it kind of did something to him. That's just my personal opinion. Moving on, Melody. So Melody, she shows up at the event with her brother, Marcus, and she's just there to show support. She's not going to be involved because she already told Tisha, no, I am not going to be working with y'all because I cannot be fooling with Martell. Plus, she had other engagements. So she was like, yeah, I'm just going to show up for the support and that's it. So the Black Expo itself was a great turnout. I thought it was a great event. I thought it was definitely a success. They had a lot of vendors, and from what I could see, the products that they put out, I thought were really nice. So yeah, I think it was a cute little event for Letitia's first event that she supposedly did all by herself. It turned out well. So Maurice asks Martell, where's your wine? Where's your wine? And I don't even know because Kimmy had a booth. I don't know what booth the Scotts had, Letitia and Marceau, but maybe they didn't have to have a booth because they're hosting it. But Kimmy had a booth, even though it was way in the back. And Martell didn't bring his wine. So Maurice was like, where's your wine? This is a great opportunity to advertise your damn wine. And Martell talking about how he doesn't want to take the spotlight away from the other wine vendors that are there. And that he doesn't want to be selfish about it. Are you a businessman or what, Martell? Like, what are you talking about? You have an opportunity to showcase, but we all know what the issue is. It's all just, smoke and mirrors. He probably was not serious about that damn wine business. It was just a damn storyline. I don't know. I have no idea why a businessman who's trying to sell a product would not bring that said product to an event where not only would it be exposed to the people that came to that event, but it'd be exposed on national television as well. I have no idea why he didn't do it. So Tiffany and Lewis, they also show up. Tiffany's about 15 months pregnant. Marcus and Martell, Marcus, Melody's brother, and Martell kind of have like a very tense conversation. It was just really tense. It was about Melody, Marcus asking, when are y'all gonna be able to smooth things over, you and Melody, etc., etc. We know that Martell really doesn't see it for Marcus, and Marcus don't really give a damn. Moving on from there, Marceau asked Melody if she's going to be given a speech because she's a great public speaker. she's just great all around when it comes to business. And of course, her getting up on that stage would have been the cherry on top, but she ain't giving it to them because y'all ain't paying her. After her chemo treatment, her radiation, because Kimmy had to go to radiation, she still showed up for this event. Kimmy is definitely a trooper. She still came out to support Letitia and Letitia and Marceau for this Black Expo, because she says that after she's done with her treatments, it takes a lot out of her. It zaps her energy, and she's feeling very, very tired, but she still came through for the Scotts. Melody meets up with Martel's brother, Montez. So evidently, Melody and Montez had a relationship because, her and Martel were married for a very long time, and she knew all of his family, etc. So she meets up with Montez, and they have a conversation, and it seemed like Melody was genuinely happy to see him, because I'm pretty sure he's been through a lot of ups and downs. He just came out of jail. Now he's out. So I'm pretty sure Melody felt really good to see Montez. So she introduces Montez to her brother Marcus, and I thought it was really crazy how these two brother-in-laws had never met. I don't know how long Montez was locked up for, and I don't know exactly when Marcus came into Melody's life, because Melody and Marcus did not grow up together. They met later on in life. So I don't know exactly when Marcus came into Melody's life, but they had never met. And I thought it was really, interesting how these brothers-in-laws had never met, but they shared nieces and a nephew in common. And like I said, Melody seemed really happy to see Montez. Stormy gets a call from Courtney. There's some type of issue going on with their product. They're being mislabeled. They are understocked. It was just a whole thing. And so Stormy was very stressed out, worrying about her business, but still making the time to be there for this event, because she said at that moment when she got that call from Courtney talking about how they had a whole bunch of bottles that were mislabeled and they were already shipped out to the stores, it was a very stressful moment for her. She had to try to fix it, and she just wanted to leave. She was, I didn't even want to be here anymore. I just wanted to leave. But she still stayed, and she stuck it through all the way to the very end for free, under the guise of giving back to the community. Tiffany and Stormy talk about how unorganized and unprofessional the event is. This is where Stormy says something about how the decor was just off. I forgot what she called it. Oh, I don't know. At some point, she called it like a junior prom, but I think that was later on in the show. She talked about the decor being really poor, completely disorganized. She was telling Tiffany about, Marceau panhandling for $100 for booth space, when that should have been taken care of way before the event. So Martel, y'all, these names, I'm going to get it right. Maurice and Marceau ask Martel about Sheree. Like, where's your lady love, Sheree? And he says that his friend girl is in California, and he has no way of getting in touch with her because her phone done died. Now it's time for the panel discussion. So the entire group, all the people that are involved, you have the Steeles, you have both of the Scott couples, you have Martel. So now it's time for them to do the panel discussion. So they're they're behind the screen, and they're having, getting themselves together. And Martel says he doesn't want to, he just discovered that Melody was there. This is where he just found out that Melody was there, because he saw her sitting in the audience, front row and center. So he tells everybody, okay, I'm not going up on stage. And they're like, why not? And he says, oh, I'm really shy, and I'm not a great public speaker. Whatever. You just saw Melody up there. You were shook when you saw her because you were not expecting to see her there, and you don't want to make a fool of yourself in front of Melody, because stage presentations is what she does. She does this in her sleep. And so you don't want to go up there looking like a damn fool. So he tries to get out of it, but when they're announcing all the names to come out on stage, they say Martel, and it's too late to run. So he has to make an appearance. But the panel discussion was fine. I don't know why he was so worried about it. It wasn't like he had to get up there and give a speech. They were just answering questions from the audience. It was like a Q&A type of moment. And at some point, he ended up being the host, where he was, he was the one that was going into the audience, lending the microphone for the people to ask their questions. So I don't know what the hell this problem was. So, all in all, the Q&A went well to me as far as I'm concerned, except that Marceau did stumble on the venture capital question. Stormy, she's back at home now. She tells her husband about, what happened at the event. And she tells him that, Marceau was out there, begging for $100 for booth space. Like, what the hell? So Courtney is like, you know what? I'm going to handle that later. But right now, he has something way more important to talk about with his wife. He tells his wife that, how I really didn't want to have a second child because of what you went through giving birth to our son, and how, you almost lost your life because you lost a lot of blood. He said that the doctor was just like, collecting like buckets and buckets of blood because she was bleeding so bad. And so he was like, I don't ever want to see that again. I don't ever want to see you go through that again. That's the reason why I did not want to have another child. I'm thinking to myself, okay, that makes sense. Because when he was talking to his mom, he was talking about growing up without a dad. And somehow it seemed like in that scene, they were linking that to him not wanting a second child. But he had said previously, earlier on in the season, I think it was like the very first episode, he did say how he was scared to death that he was going to lose his wife, and he does not want her to go through that again. So he says, I am open to having another baby, but it has to be through surrogacy. He goes, even though I'm kind of, iffy about another person carrying my child, if that's what you want, I'm down, I'm cool with it, except that it has to be through a surrogacy. Stormy, she seems to be like, she's willing to go through the whole pregnancy process again. She's like, I don't mind going through it again. And he was like, no, we're not doing that. If you want another child, it's going to have to be through a surrogacy. And that just shows to me the love that he has for his wife. And I like Stormy and I like Courtney. I mean, Courtney kind of, he can kind of be a little bit rough around the edges, but above all, I like Courtney and Stormy. I really do. I like them a whole lot better than that fake and phony couple, Lewis and Tiffany, with their fake storylines. To me, this felt real. This conversation between Courtney and Stormy felt really genuine. So she was really happy. She was happy that he was open to having another baby through surrogacy, but she was also a little bit sad because he absolutely said that it was not going to be an option for her to carry her own child. Tiffany, she invites Stormy, Letitia, and Kimmy out for lunch or brunch, not sure. And they talk about the Black Expo event. Tiffany says that she felt left out. Girl, don't you understand that they are slowly fading you out of the show? It's going to be a miracle if y'all come back. So they're fading you out. That's why you weren't included, because they're fading you out. The fact that they replaced Melody with the Steels shows that they're about to replace you, because Courtney and Stormy, to me, are a lot more interesting than Tiffany and Lewis. What about, Tiffany and Lewis, their storylines to me seem very contrived and concocted. Everything from whether or not to have a damn baby until they realize, okay, people think that we're faking whether or not we're going to have a damn baby, so we need to put up or shut up. So they went ahead and had this damn baby to stay on this show. And then whether or not, like, what happened to you finding your damn father? Like, what's going on with that? It's just so many loose ends. You get us down one path, you get us down one storyline, and then you completely abandon it, and then you make up another storyline. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on with Tiffany and Lewis. So she tells Letitia, I felt really left out. I felt excluded because, I have a lot to contribute. I have a lot of business knowledge to contribute to the people, but she didn't even bother asking me. And Kimmy was like, no. Kimmy, always the peacemaker. No. Y'all's names was always included. We were always talking about y'all. I did not hear them mention Tiffany and Lewis not one damn time in any of those meetings that they had. So I don't know, Kimmy, I understand you want to be a peacemaker, but you don't got to lie about it. I really don't remember them mentioning Tiffany and Lewis when they were having these meetings about the Black Expo. So Tiffany, okay, so Kimmy says that they were always mentioned. Tiffany, she goes, well, I still feel like we were excluded. And so then Tisha was like, to be quite honest with you, I don't even know what the hell you do. I was like, okay. That's like the first time Letitia like really made me laugh. She goes, to be honest, I don't even know what the hell you do. So then Stormy says in her confessional that the event was very unprofessional. She said the decor was giving junior prom, and Marceau trying to collect vendor fees was like a damn ticket scouter. Exactly. I agree with all of the above. So Tiffany told the ladies how she didn't appreciate. No, not Tiffany. Stormy tells them that how she didn't appreciate how Marceau had approached her about the booth fee, because I thought he approached her unprofessionally. Because even if he forgot to mention it to her, send her an email. Send her an email with an invoice and say, hey, I forgot to mention, or it slipped my mind, or, whenever you get a chance, take a look at the damn invoice that I have attached. Be perfect. You need a paper trail. I mean, come on. How are you going to walk up to her and say, give me $100 in cash? Like, what? No. So how are you going to print me a receipt? So Letitia says, you know what? I agree with you, Stormy, that, Marceau should not have approached you the way that he did. And I got on his case for that. I addressed that with him. But at the same time, your response to him was also unprofessional, because it was really uncalled for. And you didn't have to give all the theatrics and the dramatics that you did, because this is still a very professional business event. You didn't have to go there. So of course, Stormy was like, oh, hell to the no. I know you are not coming at me like that, because I can respond any way that I want to respond, because your husband was wrong from the jump. So I was giving back to him what he was giving to me. And y'all, I have to agree with Stormy, because he approached her. I mean, his demeanor was professional, but what he said was not. First of all, you even approaching her for this money like that. No boy, no, we're not doing that. And you ask, no, you probably were not shouting and yelling and doing all the hand gestures, but that whole situation, it was bad from the jump. So, but we know the background of Stormy, of what she was going through that day, setting up her space, dealing with her company. She was really stressed out. So that probably was a catalyst or a contributing factor to how she responded. So, but it's not an excuse. I know. Okay. So her and Tisha, they're going back and forth. And Tisha says, like, what is your problem? And so Stormy says, I just want to know, where was the decor? And she kept on repeating that question. Where was the decor? Where was the decor? The decor was missing. So Stormy said that she donated her time for free to give to whatever they had going on. And now Letitia is trying to check her on how she responded to Marceau. And I kind of felt like Stormy had a point. I took time away from my business to come and donate my time, my energy, my expertise to what you had going on. Plus, you chose her last minute. Okay, she wasn't a part of any of the planning from jump like everybody else. You decided to put her in when Melody bailed out. You put her in last minute, and she still delivered. So Tisha was like, okay, so yeah. So I felt like how Stormy responded, it was in direct response to Marceau, how he approached her. Marceau set the mood. He set the mood. And just the fact that he came up there and he was like, so did you pay your booth fee? And she's like, what booth fee are you talking about? Like, how are you going to do that? Why don't you be like, you pull her to the side. If you really had to do it at that moment, pull her to the side and be like, okay, Stormy, this you probably didn't know. I'm so sorry for not telling you, in the beginning, but there is going to be a booth fee. You don't have to send it to me right now, but I just want to put it out there that, whenever you get a chance, there's going to be a booth fee of $100. And then that to me would have been a whole lot better. But did you pay a booth fee? As if she should have already known. So Tisha and Stormy, they're going back and forth. Kimmy interjects and says to Stormy that she's being very patronizing. Yeah, she is, because she was really pissed off. She was very pissed off. She came to help y'all out and got nothing in return but a scolding. She got nothing in return but a scolding. And it wasn't like the customers were already there watching this. This was way before the customers or the people from the community showed up. So, like, what is the deal? I didn't understand why they were getting on Stormy's case and, Kimmy calling her patronizing. Well, she was being patronizing. And so as Tisha got more heated, Stormy got more patronizing. Are you mad? Are you mad, girl? Are you bothered? And so, when Kimmy was like, you're being really patronizing, Stormy, I was like, Kimmy, you better defend your sister-in-law, because you know how Tisha always feels like you're not there for her. You don't defend her. You don't stand up for her. You don't call her. You don't spend time with her. Yeah, you better defend your sister-in-law. And the whole entire time, Stormy kept her damn cool. And then Letitia had had enough of that. And so she gets up and she walks away. But before she left, she turns around and she tells Tiffany, don't you ever invite me to any kind of BS like this ever again. Like, Tisha, what is wrong, girl? And the whole thing about, why are you talking to my husband like that? Stop. Just stop. I'm like Team Stormy all the way. I'm sorry. I know everybody, doesn't like Stormy, and everybody thought that, Letitia had a point, and, scolding Stormy for how she talked to Marceau. But Marceau was unprofessional. So I saw nothing wrong with Stormy's response. And also, it wasn't like he approached her and says, hey, you're going to pay the booth fee. And she was like, what? Get out of here. And then he walked away. No, he kept on. And she's trying to get her stuff set up and he's still talking to her. And then he calls his wife over. And like, okay, if you didn't like how she approached her husband, why didn't you tell her then, girl, what are you doing? Why are you acting like this? Instead, Tisha just stood there and just watched it and didn't say anything. Anyways, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video. If you like this content, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.